My name is Jimmy Fikes. I make the best knives in the world. The simplest way I can describe Damascus. It's a piece of metal that contains many, many layers. Each of the layers is visible to the naked eye, and it makes it have a grain, just like a piece of wood. We'll begin with two pieces of metal dissimilar in some respect. Place them together and you attach them to each other in a superficial manner. Just take an arc welder and you tack them together. Now the two pieces are only joined at the spots that you've arc welded them. They're not one piece yet. They're still two separate pieces. And you attach those two pieces to a handle. And the reason you do that is because it's just for convenience. It's easy to work on something that's on the end of a handle. You stick it in the fire and you pull it out. You take the two pieces of metal, attach them to the end of a handle, put them in the fire, bring them up to 1450 degrees, sprinkle on flux. Put the metal back into the fire, bring it up to approximately 2200 degrees. The reason for that particular temperature being any colder and one of the two pieces of metal is not quite hot enough to weld. Any hotter and the other piece of metal is so hot that it falls into pieces when you hit it. So you got to hit that right on the money. It goes under the power hammer. Step on a pedal and you have a 100-pound round moving up and down. And what that does is it beats the two pieces together. It fuses them. The heat of the metal prepares them for fusion, and the hammer actually brings them into contact with each other. Then the metal is stretched out to approximately twice its original length and cut under the hammer with the aid of a cutting tool. Bent in a vise, folded back on itself, refluxed, put back into the fire, and this process is repeated anywhere from 8 to about 22 times. But see, that's just scratching the surface. Molten. Unless they made a better blade. Let's say that I'm going to make a very, very thin knife. If I make a billet that has 500 layers with a knife 1/4 inch thick, and every layer shows that I have 500 layers in a 1/4 inch thickness, okay? Each layer is 1/2000th of an inch thick, which is visible to the eye. But if that knife blade is a 1/4 inch thick and I have 1,000 layers in the billet, you can't see them. Okay, so you must keep that in mind from the very start. And aside from the number of layers in the billet, you must decide the pattern you want in the finished piece. And I'm going to assume that I want a ladder pattern in the blade. That requires cutting through the layers in the billet and then reforging. So what I have to do is determine the length I want the knife. I make a billet so that I can perform all the necessary processes on it while it's being stretched